In September 2015, PSU launched an advising redesign project in response to PSU's strategic plan to increase advising capacity, revitalize advising systems, and improve the visibility of student support services. The advising redesign project goals were to build campus-wide involvement and support, to assess how we advise students, and to develop specific recommendations that would lead to greater student success and completion rates, improve the student experience, and make advising more rewarding and effective for both professional advisors and faculty. The team had a mandate to hold community engagement sessions with students, professional advisors, faculty, and other collaborators, to conduct student surveys and one-on-one interviews, and to engage in best practice research, and also to examine internal PSU data. The Academic and Advising Redesign Workgroup presented the final report and recommendations on the next steps for advising at a campus-wide open forum in November of 2016. You can read about the entire process in the report and implementation plan on the Advising Redesign webpage. Today we'll hear more about the project firsthand from one of our advisors in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, Martha Dyson, and from Suquan Shahs, our Vice Provost for Academic Innovation and Student Success. So Martha, your position at PSU is as a professional advisor. Tell us a little bit about your job and how it interfaces with the advising done by our faculty.
Sure. So I'm a professional advisor for the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, and I'm assigned to work with certain majors in our departments. And I do holistic advising for those departments. So I work with majors on things like PSU-wide academic requirements as well as requirements within the major. I talk to them about careers, internships, things like that. And I also work collaboratively with the faculty on things like how course scheduling is impacting students, curriculum is impacting students. The advising that the faculty do is really more focused on the major. They're really experts and professionals in their field. And so we want students to have that relationship with the faculty, and we want to engage them with the faculty at that level. And so I would say it's really a collaborative experience between faculty advising and professional advising, and it's like two sides of the same coin. We both contribute to the student experience.
Great. So what were your thoughts when the conversation began on redesigning advising at PSU?
Well, I knew that there were things that we could be doing better. And I saw the value of a centralized model and how that could really help improve experience at PSU. But I was also wanting to make sure that we were able to preserve the unique strengths of the colleges and the schools and what they bring to their student populations. And so I'm really excited because I feel like we were able to set a certain standard of service for students that will be maintained all across campus, but that will be able to preserve the flexibility of the colleges and the schools. So I feel like it's really a win-win situation.
So Suquan, you were the architect of this project. How would you describe the way the team went about doing their work?
First, the team's design itself. We had a number of people join the team who think very differently. And that created a lot of value for the team. Secondly, we used strategies and processes that placed people at the center of design process. So we talked with students directly. Almost all professional advisors were interviewed. We conducted large-scale surveys, and we opened up the design process. So that was an exercise. We had to learn how to do that, and it was really exciting at the same time to have our colleagues join us in co-designing the model. I think that's sort of how we went about doing the work.
So were there any aha moments?
Oh, absolutely. I'll mention a few. One, our students. So when we talked to our students, and we were focused very much on academic advising, and our students pushed us in making sure that we focus also on career planning as well as financial planning as part of the advising conversation. And those two things you will see as part of the advising redesign. And then when we were having pathway conversations, we have always, when we were talking about it, we thought of them as ideas we'll share with students. Students will know what part of the pathway they're part of. And in one of the gallery walks, one of our colleagues, and I actually don't know who said this because I only heard somebody speak or ask the question. It's like, do pathways need to be visible to students? And all of a sudden, it's like, Actually, they don't. It is a way for us to organize ourselves to serve them better. And that had a fantastic impact, that kind of listening on our design.
That's great. Well, you know, we're doing all of this for students. What do you think the biggest benefits Advising Redesign has for our students?
I think it clarifies the experience we are after. So you can have somebody, one person to reach out to even before you begin at PSU, that there is somebody on campus who's always going to be there to support you. This one-on-one relation with an advisor is a crucial part of the experience. And then getting a little bit into the experience, being asked to meet an advisor in the first 2 quarters, having an in-depth conversation about your career plans and your career trajectory, talking about the major, having a conversation about financial planning, and then as you move towards graduation, having an in-depth conversation about the courses. Are you on track or not? I think it'll have a positive impact on student experience, and it'll reduce time to degree and improve our retention and graduation rates.
Great. So the planning's all done, and we're now ready to implement. Martha, how do you feel about now that planning is done and we're ready to implement?
Yeah, I'm really excited that all the hard work the PSU community has put into this project can be realized to improve the experience of students, advisors, and faculty. And I was really fortunate to be a part of this team. I really enjoyed the project, and I'm really excited for implementation to begin.
Suquan?
And I'm really excited. I think our colleagues, the design team, have come up with a very novel design. It's a far-reaching design, and I feel an enormous sense of responsibility in helping fulfill that vision that the community has put forward.
So that's great. And as people can imagine, this topic and project, it really doesn't come about without challenges and opinions. And the Advising Redesign process took months of effort with hundreds of people working and providing input on the project. The team conducted 81 one-on-one interviews, held 3 community engagement sessions, reviewed 3 prior student surveys, and administered 1 survey, researched some best practice literature, looked at PSU retention and completion data, conducted an analysis of pattern flows between majors, and asked advisors to do some experience mapping. I accepted the recommendations in the report with strong support of the redesign team, the faculty, staff, students, and the academic leadership team, as well as the President's Executive Committee. And the Advising Redesign, in and out of itself, is not the answer to all of the things that we can do to improve advising, but it certainly takes us further down the path of putting students first. I want to thank the entire team for their courage, stamina, and good thinking to take on this hard work, and I'm excited to see the positive impact that these changes will have for our students. I want to thank you, Martha, and I want to thank you, Suquan, for joining me today and for your hard work, and a big thank you to the entire team. So thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.